Hello, welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast episode number 368. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. Today is Wednesday Motivation and Inspiration. Today we're delving into excuses or execution. Now, these two words are the most common things that we use when we are going through life. Now, are we making excuses as to why we aren't working toward our goals? Or are we executing to the best of our ability and not being lackadaisical in our efforts to be great? These are the questions we need to be asking ourselves, and we should be doing it daily. I totally get that life gets in the way, things happen, but it shouldn't stop us completely from executing what we want to accomplish. Unless there's extenuating circumstances, family situations, death, going through certain things in life, with mental health or physical health or, emotional well-being, relationship situation, marriages. You guys get where I'm coming from. Now, if you're the one who says, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, and then you don't do the work that you're supposed to do, then we've got to work on breaking out of that habit. Because that is literally a habit that we all tend to do, right? Like, if it's not at the top of our list of things that we need to do, then it gets pushed to the side. It's just like, oh, I'll get to it when I get a chance, or, oh, I have time to do this, or I have time to do that. And then what happens is days turn into weeks, turns into months. And then before you know it, most of the year is gone, and all of those goals that we, like to say we're going to do at the beginning of the year, we're most of the year through, and you're saying to yourself, I haven't done a single thing that I said I was going to do. And that's where you have to sit and ask yourself, why am I not doing what I'm supposed to do? Remember, we all make time for things that we want to and are important to us, whether that's working out, cooking the right food, or working toward your goals. Excuses don't get you to the end goal. Execution does. Excuses don't give you the life that you want and seek. Execution does. Excuses only hinder the process, not elevate it. Now, there are too many people in the world that if they stopped making excuses, they would be happier, healthier, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and achieve all that they want in their lives. Now, laziness can't get you to the finish line, but sometimes pushing yourself actually does. So what's it going to be? Are you going to continue making excuses as to why you haven't accomplished that goal or goals that you've had since probably last year or years previously? Or are you going to execute what you want and go after it? Because the reality of it is it's all up to you. You decide every day what path you want to go down. No one else really does. So to be honest, if you don't really have anything that's really hindering your progress in life, and you have a clear path of where you can go, you can head down that exact road with no obstructions, nothing that's coming to distract you or anything of that nature, then you really need to start executing, and you need to start doing the things that you need to do. We all have our faults. No one is perfect. I will sit here and admit that I have taken a break from a lot of the things that I do. But one thing I do is I do my best to be as consistent as possible with my podcast. Now, last week, this was supposed to be posted, and this upcoming post on Friday was supposed to happen, but things happen in life, and things get in the way, and I have to focus on other things. But it doesn't mean that I don't come back and work on this podcast and continue to create and produce the content that I do, right? So yeah, there may be a couple of days where you just don't have it. The energy isn't there, or something else has to be taken care of and done. But you have to get back to it. Now, whether it's you having a podcast like me, or it's, hey, I need to really start looking for a new job, that I want to do, or something that I want to elevate in my career. That's something you need to do. You need to carve out that time. Now, we have 168 hours in a week, and you have 40 hours of it you have to dedicate to your job, right? And then you got to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and then you got to take care of things in your house. And then, so at some point, there's got to be at least maybe an hour or two a day where you can sit down and say, okay, I'm going to job search. I'm going to build connections. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get ahead and get myself to the next place of where I want to be in my life. And I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying like this has to be you. I'm just using this as a crutch to say, if you want a new job, you want to elevate yourself in your career, you don't want to have a job anymore. You want to have a career, because there are differences. Job is, look, I come here, I do what I have to do, make sure my direct deposit hits every 2 weeks so I can take care of myself. Career is something that you love, you enjoy doing, you're impacting people, you're helping others, you're building, yourself up, your own brand, your own portfolio, whatever it is, right? So there are differences between job and career. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I've made excuses as to why I haven't done certain things this year, but it doesn't mean that I don't get back to it. And I have slacked off a little bit this year, and that's okay. And I only say it's okay for me because I'm just managing, a lot of things, all at once. Everything kind of falls on me. So if you're that person and everything falls on you a lot, I get it. I totally understand. None of this is easy. I say this constantly and all the time on a lot of my podcasts. None of what we're dealing with and managing right now in this lifetime that we're currently in this present moment, none of it is easy, right? There's so much divide in just everything, politics, sports, world affairs, relationships, marriage, a whole lot of things, right? So we have to sit and control our own destiny and control what we can and do our best and let the results kind of show for themselves. And that's what I mean by the execution aspect of it. So you have to, try different things, do different things. Sometimes you may do something and it's not working. So you got to recalibrate and figure out what's next and, kind of move in a different direction and see what's going to work for you. So what I will say is don't make too many excuses. Let's eliminate the excuses and let's start executing. The next aspect of this is find someone who will hold you responsible. If you're someone who's constantly, slacking off and BSing, to put it in nicer terms, find someone who's doing what they need to do, and you need to start asking, how are they doing it, and how do you kind of incorporate what they're doing into your own life and doing certain things. Some of us can get up and go and do it, and some of us need a little push. Sometimes we need a little nudge, or a little elbow to the shoulder, to the arm, and say, hey, look, let's get to it, right? I am someone who holds friends accountable. I'm not the guy who's going to say, oh, it's okay, you do it tomorrow. Nope, do it today. Because there's no guarantee that tomorrow you may be able to do it, right? Like tomorrow will come and something else will come along, right? So that's another aspect of why we've got to execute a lot more than making the excuses, right? So I hold my friends' hands to the fire, and I tell my friends, look, stop goofing around, stop BSing, start focusing on yourself, stop worrying about other people, stop trying to appease people, stop trying to make other people happy. Let's focus on making yourself happy so you can get to where you need to be and get to where you want to be, right? So I am going to have those conversations with you, like, okay, like I have friends that are focusing on certain aspects of their lives, and every once in a while I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? What's going on? Nope. Get out of that distraction, focus on yourself. And that's the way you get people to really mentally focus on what they need to do. And, people will go, oh yeah, I know, whatever. Okay, that's fine. But in a week or two, I'm going to come back to you, and I need to know what your status is and where you are. So if you're a person that you're getting to it and you're executing and you're doing certain things, and you have certain friends and family members that should be doing way more than what they are, hold their hands to the fire and say, look, like, you have potential. It's up to you on how much you want it and how bad you want it. And that's how the cookie crumbles, right? All right, everyone. Just want to thank you, as always, for listening to the pod. Definitely more content coming, so stay tuned for that. Have a good week, everyone. TheAquariumMindPodcast.com is the website, as always. Be good and go accomplish your goals.